Now I've got Amara Obah, sports writer, ACLsports.com. Amara, great performance from Edo Queens right there. What are your thoughts from what you saw yesterday? And always we say that there's a future for women's football, and hopefully it can get up to the Super Falcons.
Well, I can't say 5-star because it was a 7-0 demolition, so maybe 7-star performance from them. Then I'll look at, I mentioned earlier, when we had a preview of this game, it was Chioma Moses. She was in the side when they won this same AS Garde the last time in 2024. She scored a goal, in a particular one, the likes of MMSN. And she has been with the Edo Queens quite a while now, went on with them, won the league last time with them, went to the CAF Champions League. So she's one experienced player who is in form, right? Very trickish winger to defend against them. All core of the chances they created in that game came from her side, and it was a good link-up play with herself, Atume Doosuur, and Oluwakemi Adebui. Funny enough, all three of these players who got goals, aside Aminat, Folorunsho, all three of them were the top 4 goal scorers from last season in the league. So I think Edo Queens are in good hands, even though the core players actually are currently in Poland with the 20 side. The big squad they've got also have helped them a whole lot. They probably have scored more than 7 goals. I can imagine if they had all their chances converted, we probably would have seen the double score line. But 7-0 starter, it's a big one because the next 2 games, very, 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 very big ones for Edo Queens.
Right, so looking at for Edo Queens, I'm trying to look at their stats now. They finished 3rd and 4th in their debut CAF Women's Champions League run in November 2024. In the group stage, they beat TBE 3-0. They also drew with Massa, goalless, and defeated holders, Mamelodi Sundowns 2-1. With this wealth of experience that they have, if they qualify for the group stage of this CAF Champions League, how far, or rather, what would you tag as success for Edo Queens because of the wealth of experience that they have in this squad?
Well, I think finishing 4th rather last time out, I'm sure they probably want to go back, especially the fact that we have the new FIFA Champions Cup, the eventual winners of the CAF Champions League going on to play against the likes of FC Barcelona, and this year is going to take place in the USA. So it's a very big one for them. They've got lots of squads. I don't know if the Champions League is going to clash with the World Cup. I doubt. But if they qualify for the CAF Champions League, I think they'll want to have their coach, Ouagadougou, back to the side, and all the players who have also went on to play national team duties back to the side. Success for them has to be clinching that title, because I don't think any Nigerian team has won that. The closest we've been to probably 3rd position, I think that was like Bayelsa or Delta Queens years ago. So winning the CAF Champions League is one thing that Nigerian teams will want to achieve. And in terms of achievement, I think Edo Queens, with the kind of play they have, if you watch them yesterday, even in the previous seasons, they play like a very well-grown, well-coached side, more of the passes, link-up plays, 1-touch, 2-touch football, and you ask yourself, some persons were even comparing their play to what the small Falcons gave us at the last WAFU-B, but then that's a different ballgame. But yeah, yes, Edo Queens have what it takes when it comes to in playing patterns and getting the results, and they're not scoring lots of score lines. The 2 games against Apedokwa and Asec Mimosa will be a very big one for them, because ASEC were the team that defeated Bayelsa Queens in the final last year in the WAFU-B. So probably one revenge for our own Nigerian sisters here.
Interesting, Amara. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation. My question is, what is the next step for Edo Queens when you talk about the competition itself? We've talked about experience that they've gained in the group stages. The knockout phase wasn't the best. Is it a need to inject a bit more players? Do we need to be more exposed when we talk about some of the matches that we're playing going forward? Or is it just a mentality thing that needs to change if they're going to scale that hurdle?
I think one challenge we always have in our football here in Nigeria in terms of organizing friendly matches is like we always organize mediocre friendly matches for both country and both for club sides. We want to, if you want to compete against the likes of ASFA and the Champions League to probably go as far as clinching the title. You saw what ASFA did against the likes of Arsenal, even though they lost in the FIFA Women's Champions Cup. But I think having to play better oppositions in terms of quality, friendly matches for these teams, I would like to see us play against the biggest sides in Moroccan club sides, even as far as going to Europe to probably get yourself ready if we eventually clinch the CAF Champions League. Mentality team, yes, you might say, because a couple of these players haven't been at this stage in terms of going to play the FIFA Champions Cup or the final of the CAF Women's Champions League. But in terms of talent and squad, Edo Queens have it. The last time they went to the CAF Champions League, losing to TP Mazembe, they went all the way, played some amazing football. Yeah. But I think in terms of quality, they're probably lacking one or two in terms of quality in personnel in different areas of the pitch there. But like I said, a couple of their players also are playing in the under-20 setup, and they still have these sets doing so well there in Burkina Faso. So yes, quality-wise, they have it. They probably want to inject more of it in terms of when they get to the big stage. But Aduku is a very talented and very, very tactical coach. I believe he wants to hold his own against the biggest of big coaches when he gets to the FIFA Champions Cup, if he eventually get there. But good friendly matches organized for these teams is one thing that will help them in terms of testing their opponents, especially against the North African sides or the European side.
All right, before I let you go, Amara, I want to put you on the spot now. There will be a new vibe when it comes to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And we've been clamoring for some of the home-based players to make it into the Super Falcons team, a lot more of them, not just one or two. Are there players they are eyeing in the NWFL, most especially from Edo Queens, to make it to the Super Falcons team ahead of some qualifiers?
Yeah, a lot of them. I don't know. One of the reasons why we cannot, in a way, blame Madogo in the sense that he had limited times, limited friendly matches when it comes to preparations for this WAFCON, for the last WAFCON we went to. So now we've missed out in the World Cup, missed out on the next one is Olympic qualifiers. If you want to play, Super Falcons have always been known for integrating players from our local football here. A couple of the teams, the Ajibades, the Uchebis, all of them, aside likes of Alozia and Esther Okoronkwo, most of the teams, even our goalkeeper, Chioma Moses, all play their football in the WFL. And then one thing you talk about is that the structure of the league then and now, I can't say the difference between both sides, but talent is not missing in this side. Players like Atume Doosuur banging goals for Edo Queens, getting goals also in the CAF Champions League and in the WAFU-B. You have players like even Moses. I was not surprised. She's a very tricky winger. Probably would have made use of her in the WAFCON because she's one player that can force attack when it comes to wing stretch defenders. And if she had gone to the WAFCON, I don't know if she had made a big difference in terms of the results, but I think she probably would have showed herself out there in Morocco. Bringing in players, yes, we're not just saying give us quota to the BFL local players from our team, our league here, but then look at quality players you want to bring in. And goal-wise, I think we are lacking in terms of scoring goals. And we have lots of forward players in the league. We have lots of tricky wingers, even players that have gone out. You look at this season, Benfica signed Dimeyi recently, signed Florence Sebastian, signed Janet Makekero. These are players that all came out from our leagues here in Nigeria. So we have so many transfers news for the women, leaving the Nigeria teams and go to play in Turkey and then in Europe. So we need a fresh blood. But then these players need friendly matches to understand each other. You don't just bring them a match or two friendlies into major tournaments and expect miracles to happen. It can't work that way. And the likes of Malawi, the likes of Cameroon had limited times, but Malawi especially had ample friendly matches. They had FIFA series that they worked with the teams. Even Zambia themselves, the coaches all attributed the fact that they had quality friendly matches to get to understand the players' strengths and weaknesses and how to gel them properly as a team. It's one thing to have talents and individuals in your squad. It's another thing to have a team that can compete against any other person. Nigeria at the last WAFCON has fantastic, brilliant, experienced players, but as a team, we're lacking compared to the likes of Malawi and Zambia. You can't even compare the players player for player to Nigerian side, but then they had a better team setup because they've had played much time playing together, understanding the coach tactics. So NFF have the field up right now because there are so much going on their neck right now. But in terms of friendly matches, we do not have those things happening for Nigeria. And it's not just the Super Falcons, the Falconets, usually transfer FIFA windows should be times where if you're organizing friendly matches for the Super Falcons, the same has to apply to the under-17s, under-23s. Yeah. This is how they test themselves. You don't just pack these players a month to tournaments and play against God knows who, and then they score 8-0, 10-0, 11-0, 12-0, and you expect that when you get to the camp and play the likes of Spain, the likes of Germany is not here, but the likes of England, and they won't get themselves embarrassed. So we can't expect miracles to continue happening in our system. You have to put in, even African teams now move past us and in terms of structure and organization. So I think maybe the slap at the WAFU-B was needed for our entire structure. But again, the Super Eagles missed back-to-back World Cup, nothing happened. So honestly, I'm not even shaking that something's going to happen. Yeah, because we're used to the fact that Super Falcons are always going to qualify for the World Cup. So if the Super Eagles, who are in quotes the number one when it comes to football in the country, they didn't go to the World Cup, but they got friendly matches, they played the Unity Cup. If nothing happened when they missed the World Cup on 2 occasions, I don't really think much will change in terms of Super Falcons.
All right, so we'll see what change will happen for the NFF, Super Falcons, and then the Super Eagles. Hopefully, we'll go back to the drawing board, if there's a drawing board, and we would make things happen for Nigerian sports again. Thank you very much, Amara Obah, for joining us today on the show. Pleasure having you on the show.